Wait, it's October already? Guess it's time for another documentary. Yo, thank you guys for tuning in again. Today, I will share my most recent Track of the Day challenge attempt with you guys. For the case that you don't know how this works, on the first day of each month, I roll 2 random styles from Trackmania exchange and try to turn those into a Track of the Day map. Then I have time until the end of the month to fully create the map and try to get it reviewed by Nadeo. In this video I will be documenting my attempt of September 2024. By the way, I would recommend also checking out last month's video. But to be fair, you guys have probably all already seen that one, as it did do very well for my standards. Now, most of you are probably wondering what styles I had to map this month. This time I actually got a full video recording of me rolling the styles. So let's see what they are. Yo guys, it's time to spin the wheel again for this month's challenge. I removed the styles No Steer and Endurance as that's what I had to map last time and I don't want to get any repeats, especially already. But you see, we got 64 styles left. We could really have to combine anything here, like I honestly don't know. But you know, let's see what we're gonna have to do. Okay, we dodged the bullet here, we don't have to map bobsleigh. That is a huge W in my opinion. Instead, we get to make a plastic track. So let's see what we have to combine it with. Plastic underwater. Hell, I'm gonna have a great time mapping this. Oh my god. Yeah, GG's guys, this month is over. I'm not having a chance this time. Well, anyways, let's see what I can do. Well, I'm fucked. There's no way I can actually make a proper map with those styles. The only chance I really have is to get it to be a first of the month track of the day. For the people that don't know, every first day of each month, Nadeo picks a very special map for track of the day that would usually not get picked otherwise. Considering that I have to combine water with plastic, already almost fully disqualifies me from getting a normal track of the day. But I was not afraid of trying. When first going into the map editor, I didn't really know what I wanted to do yet. I was looking around item exchange a bit before starting the map, and I found a couple of interesting custom blocks that I could make use of. Most notably, Juice's plastic road set. Something else I decided on early was that I didn't want the map to be fully underwater. And whenever there was an underwater section coming up, I would give the player some type of reactor boost down to not have them get random slowdowns when entering the water. With that in mind, I started placing some plastic roads and some water pools to see how I could combine them the best. I ended up keeping the water on the same level during the whole map, while having the plastic road going in and out of the water. The underwater sections are mostly straights that are intended to be used to set yourself up for the upcoming sharp turns. Basically all turns that are over the water force you to do a bug slide to execute them well, before entering another underwater straight and performing another bug slide over the water. I decided to stick with this as the main concept of the map, as it was honestly quite fun to drive. The only issue being that it is quite hard to do well. And here we go again. I seem to be pretty good at making maps a little too difficult. But that didn't seem to be an issue last month, right? I mean, last month people were only saying good things about my map in map review. So surely that won't be an issue this time, right? Well, enough concerns about map review. I ended up making the route around 40 seconds long, in an attempt to make the track viable as a normal track of the day, but also as a first of the month track of the day. This would make it rather short for a normal track of the day, but rather long for a first of the month track of the day. With this set, I don't know if the map really fits any of the criteria for both of those categories, but I guess we'll have to just wait and see. First of all, it's time for the scenery. I ended up completing the route in about 2 hours of mapping overall. That week I wasn't really that motivated to map, so I had to stretch out the mapping phase quite a bit. For the scenery, I decided to first make some small adjustments to the water pools to make it look like a bit of a lake. After that I placed lots of grass blocks and hills around the lake. I also decided to place some beach chairs and umbrellas to the side of the lake, as well as lots of palm trees in the grass scenery. The next day I decided to add a little more scenery by adding small towers into the lake and connecting them with water roads above the track. This might seem a little out of place, but I still decided to go with it. For the final touches on the map, I added a bit more scaffolding to the map, so it wouldn't just randomly float in the lake. I also decided to add some fish and whale sharks to the lake, as well as more bathing utensils on top. All of that took me longer than mapping the route, but at least the map doesn't look terrible. One issue I ran into while doing the scenery is that the map ended up being quite laggy in the editor. That's most likely caused by the huge amount of items spread around the map. The overall file size of the map is pretty big, but that didn't end up being a problem. The only thing I'm scared of is that some people might experience lag when playing the map. But is that really gonna be an issue? Well, there's only one way to find out. After setting a decent offer time on the track, I decided it was finally time to put the map into map review. I was just chilling in VC with two friends of mine, waiting for Ice of the Week to start, when I found a good looking time frame with 15 minutes of waiting time. This is how it went. I'm quickly gonna have to dip. I'm gonna be back somewhere exactly around when Ice of the Week's gonna start. Anyways, first time people are seeing the map. Let's see what this is gonna be. You know, it's gonna be hella interesting. I wonder if I'll get this one through map review as easily. I mean, I doubt, because, you know, people are already struggling. Only 2 finishers so far, that is not good. Oh wow, we get one guy saying minus minus. Well, that's gonna be a great start. Yeah, it's kinda blind. That is a fair point. Yeah, actually I think we might be struggling here. 3 finishers. And 12 people in here. But for first of the month, plus. You know, we're gonna have to see. I'm gonna refresh. Please don't be too shit. 3.7. Yeah, great. We already got a 1 star and a 2 star. You know, we're gonna have to go from here. Surely it's gonna get better. The map ended up at a 3.7 star rating at 6 votes. During the 3 minutes that everyone had to discover the map, basically everyone struggled quite a bit. The overall issue being that the water entrances and exits are quite blind, as well as generally having a route that's tough to figure out at first. Some people even decided it was a good idea to give me a bad rating, just because the map happened to be wet plastic. People really do seem to hate that style quite a bit. I decided to stay optimistic though. After the first map review session last month, my map ended up on a 3.8 star rating, and I ended up getting that one reviewed with relative ease. Of course, the map isn't really optimal for map review at all, but that wasn't the case last time either, right? Surely everything could only get better from here, right? Well, if only I knew. After taking 2 days off, I decided it was time to put the map back into map review. I found a pretty random time frame with a 12-minute wait time in the late afternoon, so I went for it. The first thing I noticed after joining the server is that a person by the name of abctm_Tanisha was playing. You might recognize them from playing map review yourself, as they basically live on the server. The odds of joining map review without Tanisha being there are lower than the odds of joining with Tanisha being there. With this said, I also encountered this person while trying to get my map reviewed last month. And after announcing that they were going to give me a 1 star rating, they luckily left before it was time to actually give out the ratings. Generally, Tanisha seems to be known for giving out many 1 star ratings. I even got warned about them in the comment section of my last video. Of course, I don't mean to spread hate. I don't see this as an issue with one person. I somewhat see this as an issue with map review in general. While I would already love to rant a bit, I think it makes more sense to show you guys what happened first. Oh, my map's coming up. What? What do you mean? Wait, what? Wait, what do you mean, man? There's no fucking way, dude. There's literally no fucking way. I think my map is being raided right now as well. I honestly don't know. Like, explaining something to the map would have been very useful, as I could have probably saved it from some bad ratings. But the server just decided to split right in front of my map coming up. And that's just typical map review shenanigans happening. Like, the reviews can only get worse from that. So let's see. There the maps are. Let's refresh. It should have gotten new ratings. If not, I'm gonna get even more mad. It doesn't. Either that means people are still playing it or they haven't played it yet. Oh, wait, it did get reviewed. Ah, well that's great. We got... Yeah. So about that. I don't think I'm getting this into range without having to reset it one more time. So now that you have seen it, you are most likely as confused as I was. As you could clearly see, my map was coming up, and while I was already typing in chat what I wanted people to know, the server decided to split. Server splits occur in map review whenever there are quite a few people playing at the same time. This mechanic probably exists so people have less long waiting queues for their maps, or to not have too many people raid a map at the same time. The only issue being, my map was coming up when the server decided to split. And that exact server split put me in a new server where my map wasn't queued at all. This means I couldn't collect any feedback or talk to people and tell them what the map is for. An example being that from this point on I wanted to let everyone know that the map was meant for first of the month track of the day. Just saying that could have at least improved my ratings a little bit. But no, not today apparently. As you saw, the map ended up with a 3-star rating at 11 votes. Of course the map wouldn't have gotten perfect ratings if I was on the correct server, but I at least could have done some damage control. Oh yeah, and guess who didn't get split into the new server? Tanisha. I'm not trying to accuse them of anything here, but I think we can agree when I say that a lot of things went wrong here. The only positive thing I could speak of is that it was the first time that happened to me. So that must mean it's a pretty rare occurrence, right? Well, this wasn't of my concern at that exact moment, as I decided to go back to the drawing board. I can only blame map review to a certain degree. The one thing I have to do is make the map easier. Going into this, I knew I wouldn't be able to do much. Changing the route was something I really didn't want to do, so my only option was to try to make the path more clear. I previously considered adding walls to the track, but that would just ruin the whole concept of the map. Instead, I decided to make most of the already existing signs bigger to try to make the route somewhat more obvious. Another idea I had was to add plastic lines on the water that would show where the route went below the water. This didn't help the aesthetic of the map, but it at least made the route a tiny bit more obvious. As I didn't have any other ideas how to improve the map, I left it at that and decided to go back to map review with the now slightly improved Polluted Lake version 2. I didn't end up being very motivated for a couple of days, so the progress that I did was going very slow. I even ended up getting COVID over the weekend, so that didn't help. But at last, it was time for map review again. I found a promising looking time to submit the map around 10 PM on that day. With my last disastrous encounter already being 4 days back, I wasn't really concerned about anything unexpected happening. My focus was fully on the rating that I needed to get. I was already typing my usual text into the chat when this happened. There's no way this happens again. There's no. This didn't just happen again. I wanna fucking die, holy shit. Why? I wasn't even mad. I was just disappointed. I even ended up recording 2 small rants after that, so here you guys go. Okay guys, this is infinite proof that map review is a fucking scam. This is the second time in a row that the server was splitting the exact moment that my map was coming up. So I couldn't say anything about my map, and last time it got review bombed because of that. And now that I made the new version and the server split, apparently my map wasn't played at all. Maybe I'm gonna give you an update in 2 minutes and say that it's not that I was wrong, but I think the fact that it appeared in here just shows that no one looked at it, and I waited for 21 minutes in the queue. So now I can go again, but now that everyone is leaving, I'm gonna get 3 votes. So what even is the point? This is so bad. Okay, so here we go. I was wrong. My map was played. But if you look at the reviews, I think by just talking to people I could have gotten it a lot higher. And with that we would have had a much better base. And now, what I'm gonna have to do is most likely fully reset it, try to go again, never get split, never have the map being pulled through overnight, and I think even then I have no chance. So at this point I'm asking myself, what is even the point? And my respect to anyone who's gotten a somewhat unique map through, it can have I don't know, with the Nosty map I didn't have any issues, and all of a sudden, as soon as you have water wheels on plastic, all of the map review players are just dying or something, I don't know. The only thing I can tell you is that I'm mad at everything, and that I already basically lost hope. I don't think I will get this reviewed. I'm gonna be honest. And this is the worst part, is that this is probably the best map I've made for this actually. I don't know. It's not it's harder to learn than the others maybe, but it's probably the best map that I've made for this so far. But you know, you can do whatever. It's wet plastic and then everyone's gonna hate it. I guess that's my challenge. It's gonna make maps that no one likes because I have to follow a certain style restriction. Well, I guess I put that on myself. A 3-star rating it was. Again. Even though the ratings were split up quite differently this time, that wouldn't have made a big difference in the long run. Last month I still thought I would roughly need a 4.4 star rating at 40 votes to get my map reviewed. But me and many other people in the comment section noticed that the process of getting a map reviewed has gotten a lot easier. Now you need roughly a 4.2 star rating at 20 votes. This made getting last month's map reviewed rather doable. That doesn't seem to be the case this time though. Before removing the map from map review and trying again, I still wanted to make a small change though. Something that I didn't mention is that after the server was split, a player by the name of Jakob_3 ended up on a server with my map on it. So he was able to provide me with a screenshot of what people said about the map. The second message he wrote himself reminded me that I also wanted to add more reactor gates to make the map less punishing. But to be fair, all the other comments were also quite interesting to read. After adding more reactor gates, I already had version 3 of the map. As I decided, every time I change something on a version that has been submitted to map review before, I will make a new version. But even with this, what was I gonna do? Such a small change wouldn't get my rating high enough for sure. Well, if I'm honest here, I had basically already given up on the map. Usually, I don't like to leak the map to people I know before the end of the challenge, but this was a hopeless case either way. I was just chilling in VC with 2 friends of mine and decided to go into map review for the first time with the new version. I mean, what couldn't go wrong at this point? Well, here's what happened. Let's go, we're booting. Okay, I did my essay, that's good. Now we're just gonna have to hope that people like it. I didn't get split out of the server this time for once, so that's good. Stop essaying. I have to essay though. Oh, 7 people, that's not gonna... You know, at least we have some skilled people in here, that's actually rare. Oh! Wait, how did you get oh no, is that... This is so bad to watch Discovery. Wow, it's actually awful. I didn't calculate for that for people getting reactor up though. Like I added those extra gates because people couldn't finish the map because they were getting no reactor, and now people are getting the wrong reactor. So that fucking sucks. Frank's at 5. Anyways, I'm gonna check the ratings real quick. Gonna have to yep to that. Ratings are 2.6. Wow, that's actually worse than I've ever. No, 2.7. That's actually worse than I've had it ever before. Yeah, so you two said 5. Wait, hold up. Something doesn't add up. Frank said 5, and you two said you would do 5. Ah yes, a 2.7 star rating at 6 votes. But how could this even have happened with 2 friends on the server supporting me? Well, they both decided to fully backstab me by giving me either 1 or 2 stars. According to my calculations, the only person that actually 5-starred the map was Frank. Probably because he knows how shit the map review experience is. But I'm not here to argue about who gave my map how many stars. In the end, that all doesn't really matter. But what I could say for sure is that my motivation for this project was rapidly decreasing. The ratings just kept getting worse no matter what I did. Another thing that didn't help is that I actually messed up some of the reactor boost placements. So after doing some of the bug slides, you would end up with reactor up in some of the water sections. The best version of the map really still is the first one. My changes didn't really help it out at all. This is also why I will only be releasing the first version of the map. The updated versions really just only made it worse. So whether you believe it or not, this is where this month's challenge ends. Let's be honest, this one was doomed right from the start. I just happened to be naive enough to think I still had a fair shot. And I could just go on a huge rant about all the things that are wrong with map review and continue some of my weird tangents I started earlier in this video. But I really don't think that's gonna result in anything positive. Again, I don't mean to hate anyone mentioned in this video. Well, so that's it. The map literally just released with this video, so if you want to play it, I got a TMX link in the description. You could definitely call this another sad ending, but not for the same reasons as last time. By the way, for the case anyone is interested, Steelers Odyssey never made it into Track of the Day. It has been over a month now since it got reviewed, so there's no way it will still get in. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This was a shit ton of work again, so you know, a like and a sub would be very appreciated. I've also recently been considering to change the way I run this channel. Maybe I could do some more of this high effort content if you guys enjoy watching it. I'm also considering to change the Kirby of the Day video format to make it more compact and combine multiple into one video. So be sure to let me know what you think. See you guys next time.